Hey everyone, in today's video we are going to go over some additional route mapping features. So in the web mapping application, we're going to head over to the panel on the left hand side and select route mapping. And once we're on this screen, we're going to click on this purple box labeled options. From the options screen, it's going to show me all of the routes that I've entered into the system. I'm going to focus on Route 1 at this time. And in this column over here, labeled Mapping Color, this is where I can adjust the color for my routes so that when we see an optimization through the route mapping module, that color will reflect. So as you can see, I have it blue selected for Route 1. I can adjust that. Once I make that adjustment, if I want to change it to purple, all I have to do is click the Save button, and it will save that new color. This way you can assign each route a unique color. So if you were to map each route for a particular day, you would be able to see on the map all of the routes, the pathways for the optimization with their own unique colors. But beyond that, I can select one of my routes. So I'm going to select R1. And that's going to open up this route details screen. So this is where I can set unique starting and ending locations, which the route mapping system will take into account. So right now it's using the company address as the starting and ending location across the board for all 7 days of the week. If I need to make an adjustment, I can simply just copy and paste the latitude and longitude or fill it in this field if I know it off the top of my head. If I don't know it, well, I can search for it with the address bar here in the top left corner. So we'll go ahead and input an address. I'll input 856 Pine Drive, Naples, Florida. In this second field, this is where I can select if I want that location to be a starting point, an ending point, or both. And I could also select the day of the week. So let's just, for this example, set this address as the ending point for all days. Again, I could select a specific day. Once I input that copy lat long, it'll adjust the ending location across the board for all days. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. If I head over to my route mapping, and now optimize my stops or optimize my route for R1, should take into account that ending location. So you're going to notice here that the route starting location is this green flag, the ending location is the red flag. I previously optimized with the starting point and the ending point being that same location where my company is located, which is why we are seeing the pathways there for that optimization. At this point, I want the system to optimize this route with a unique ending location. So I'll go ahead and click the Optimize Route button, and then we'll give the web mapping application a moment here to put these stops in the best order. So as you can see, it re-optimized my stops here and took into account this ending location. If I tap onto the Directions tab, you'll see the total distance is 43 miles. Total drive time is close to 2 hours. When my starting point and my ending point were the same location, the distance and the total time was definitely different. I think it was about 36 miles in total distance and about an hour and a half in total time. Now, as you can see, it takes into account the address that I input as the ending location, which was on Pine Drive. So we'll just go ahead and click Start Over at this point. We're going to move on to one other feature that I'd like to go over in this video. And this feature can be used if you are unsure of the assignments that you've made to your stops. So if you're in a scenario or a situation that, you might have guys driving to the same location on the same day, multiple guys driving to the same location on the same day, and you're not sure your routes are the most fuel efficient or even time efficient, you can use our system to reassign your stops. So what I'm going to do is, over here where it says Choose Route, I'm going to select R1 for July 29th. And then I'm going to click the Map Routes button. Now, as you can see, it's showing me all of my customers here for R1. I also want to show R2 on the map as well. So I'm going to select R2 and click Map Routes. And as you can see, I'll just zoom in because a lot of these customers are in the same location. They're all located near this country club. I now have two sets of stops on the map, one for each route that I've selected. So my R1 stops are purple, my R2 stops are green. If I want to reassign my stops, I can use what's called a Polygon Tool. So for example, you'll notice that stop number 7 on the map, Daniel Conley, is not in the same vicinity as all of these stops down here. So maybe Daniel Conley should really be a stop assigned to R1, because R1 is going to be in this location anyway. Daniel Conley is also close to Andy and Carol Morrison and Kurt Barthold. So in the bottom left corner of this map, I can select this Polygon tool, and it's labeled Draw a Shape. And from there, I could begin to draw a polygon on my map to encapsulate my stops. Once I connected the polygon, it'll show me all of the customers that I've selected. And from here, all I need to do is change the assignment. Well, maybe I know that I still want those stops to be hit on the 29th, so I'll input that date. Where it says Choose Route Crew, I'll go ahead and assign those stops to R1. The last thing that I need to pay attention to on this screen is it says, do you want this route change to be temporary? If you use the service program, then you are aware that on the route schedule, there is a route and an assigned to column. There's also a route date and an assigned date column. This dropdown determines what gets updated in those fields. By default, the system will always set this option to yes. And if I were to leave it set to yes, so where it says, do you want this route change to be temporary? If I were to leave that set to yes, then if we were to sync the service program with the mapping application, it would only update the assigned to and the assigned date fields with whatever we've selected here. And that's done as a fail-safe in case you're just playing with the system and not sure if you actually want to make those adjustments. When it syncs back in, there is a reset assigned button in the service program that you would click that would then revert the adjustments you made so that the route date matches the assigned date and the route matches the assigned to. If I want this to be a permanent change, I need to flip this setting to no, and then I'll scroll down and click the Save button, and we'll give the system a moment to reassign those stops. And again, if I were to sync with the service program right now, the route schedule in the service program desktop software would take into account the changes that I've just made on the mapping system. We can already see those changes on the mapping system, and to just prove that to you, I'm going to select R1 and then map July 29th. And as you can see, Daniel Conley is now included. He's no longer assigned to R2. He is assigned to R1. And then from there, we can optimize so that the system takes that stop into account. And the optimization is finished. And if I like what I have in place here, of course, I'd go ahead and select that Stops tab and click the Save Route Order button. So that's it for today's training video. Again, make sure you watch the route mapping video and the geocoding video before watching this video, as that video shows you how to sync in the optimizations from the mapping application into the desktop software.